Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and if you were to ask developers what is the most important website for game development these days, I think you'll get quite a few answer the same thing, and that is the site we are looking at right now, Shadertoy. Now, Shadertoy is the repository online for shaders. If you need a shader for just about anything, this is where you head. So let's go in, we come here, we browse them, huge repository of shaders. When I say huge, how big is huge? Well, huge is 115,504 as of right now. And then you pick a shader you want. Say I was coming in, I was looking for a fire shader. I come on in here. We've got 1,300 pages of fire shaders, for example, or at least 1,300 things that match the word fire. The results can be a little iffy, but here you can see the end result. So you've got the code editor for your shader over here. You can see a preview of your shader in action over here, and essentially that is Shadertoy. Again, this is one of those tools that is just so vital to so many people. It has become the go-to repository for shaders. There are, of course, some issues with Shadertoy, and that is where developer Zor steps in. So he did this tweet earlier in this month, and I'll just read the tweet. I have a lot of respect for Shadertoy. Unfortunately, the problems and stagnation probably being the key thing, has become impossible to ignore. So you got problems like getting stuck on the verification loop, sometimes for minutes. This is the Cloudflare protections for the website there. Select alignment issues like you see over here. No updates. Again, there's the stagnation in effect. Each shader name needs to have a unique name, such as here. So once you've got 100,000+ shaders there, calling yours Fire 419063 because all of the other fires are already taken, yeah, that can be an issue. Search is slow and clunky, limited resolutions and no control over it, limited video exporter, limited shader passes, no time control, no sliders, no buffer preview, no brace highlighting. I could go on with stuff that would be nice to have, but overall, it was the problems that pushed me away. I've been using Shadertoy since 2014. I've learned so much from the community and will always appreciate that. But what he has done, instead of just complaining, is, well, he created an alternative, specifically FragCoord.xyz. By the way, if you head on over to his Twitter, he does have a lot. He goes through why he's developing things, new features. He's good about getting feedback taken on it, etc. So if you're interested, do be sure to go check him out on Twitter. But now we're going to go look at his new creation, and that is FragCoord.xyz. Now, the thing I'm going to have to set expectations for accordingly, this is not a replacement for Shadertoy for one reason and one reason alone right now. It just doesn't have the community. It's also very young, but that is a pretty impressive part of it, to be honest. So the community, if you guys like this, if you come and join and submit your shaders, that takes care of itself. So if you like what you see here, well, you could go ahead and sign up. So you can see this is the basic editor of it. I want to compare something right away. Would you rather work in this or this? And by the way, this is highly customizable. So you see over here, you've got various different themes. You got dark themes. I got a flashbang theme right there. We'll go back to this one. You got various different resolution scaling you can handle automatically. You also have multiple different code layouts. So this is the editing environment. I'm going to go ahead and show you, let's do one of the default shaders. So here, this is the shader of the day. There is a small amount of community aspects for things. If you click details here, for example, you can leave a message on a shader. The highest ranked stuff gets shown on the Explore site right over here. But anytime you head back over to the editor, if you're signed in, you can save it to your own repository or your own profile and edit things as you wish. You got some really nice features in here, including formatting or linting support. So like say here, I'm going to grab this and then there, we've like tabbed these. So that's not ideal, right? Well, what I can do is come on down here once this message goes away. All right, there we go. You've got this linting or formatting. So you got a ton of different options here. You can say how you want your code to be formatted. For example, snake case versus camel case. And then what I could do is go ahead, then change that, and then click, and then format, and then it just tabbed it back to the way it was. So nice linting tools are built in here. On top of that, what you're going to notice here is you've got a number of tools down here. For example, you want to add another uniform to this. You go ahead and create one accordingly. You have inspectors right here for various different options. You have the error handling, so if any errors come up, they are shown right here, and you can jump to them directly inside of your code. You have frame profiling, so you can see the frame rate that this is running at. You can see it both in milliseconds or in frames per second. You can click at any time to pause it and see the results there. You got heat mapping here as well. And then the other cool thing here is I can click this guy right here, and I can actually have this go ahead and export this out as, I can export out the alpha channel as a single image frame, or I could say a number, the the last, say, 6 seconds here and export that out as an MP4. Very cool functionality right there as well. Again, you do have that fine-tuned resolution control over here, like this guy over there, so you can change how to display it, have it various different resolutions to run it at. That is definitely one of the features that he found lacking from Shadertoy as it exists today. And I think one part that impresses me the most is how much this has evolved already, because this launched on February the 12th. Right there. There's the first launch there, the 1.0, the foundation. Obviously, he had been working on it behind the scenes. But then you see another updates, all the way up to February 19th. We've got a ton of new things. And these aren't like little things that are being added. These are pretty significant things as we are putting things up. So like filter by license type. You also have the ability to submit bug reports, which, by the way, you can do right here. Or you can request a feature. So if there's something missing that you would like to see added, you could do it right there. Now, you're not going to find anywhere near the level of the encompass links. Again, like for fire, we saw 1,000 on the other one. Here we have this many. So it's a lot less of a community, but that's solved by time. If people like this tool enough, it becomes popular enough from, like, say, videos like this one, more and more people are going to jump in, check it out, and that will grow over time. So then at the same time, the other thing that they've got here, multiple passes. So here you can see each of the passes of this frame. So there you go. Another thing that we have going on here is a community, like a library. So if you're creating your own shader here, so if you're creating a new shader, you start this way, you pick like what base you want to go through. I could start with a completely blank shader like so, and then I have libraries here, for example, if I needed to handle HSV to RGB, boom, there is a code snippet for me right there. You also, of course, have code completion or code suggestions available right there. You do have the linting tool shown earlier on. So it is just a pleasant editing environment. Yeah, that's kind of the idea behind it. Again, what's impressive is about how fast this has grown over the short period of time. Not grown in terms of what is here, like what shaders are available, though there are a decent number available as well. It's, again, nowhere near what you saw in terms of Shadertoy. But what I'm finding is the website, the experience of actually creating shaders here is much more pleasant. And then once you actually got the shader that you want, for example, this one, let's say I like this shader and I want to go ahead and get it out. What do I do with it? Well, I just come on up over here, I export my shader out. There you can see it's creating a WebGL shader. I can just download that as a web file, right? So, well, here's where it gets kind of neat. I could also come in here and say Shadertoy, export this out for Shadertoy as GLSL that you could copy and paste over to Shadertoy, or HLSL, so automatic conversion over to HLSL if you're using DirectX. Or we've got Metal, so if you're working on a Mac and you're using the Metal renderer, you can have it in Metal format. And then, of course, WGSL, which is for WebGPU, and you can get it out accordingly right there. And if you want it, just basically copy it out to your clipboard, and then here, boom, there you see. Your shader is out and ready to go. You can save them to your own profile if you are logged in. You do not need to log in to use any of this, by the way. It's just something that I have done. And there is decent and solid documentation on what everything does. It's just polished. I'm just very impressed with what has been created so far. Again, nothing against Shadertoy. Shadertoy is an amazing resource with an absolute ton of shaders there. It is the GOAT. The thing is, if you are looking for updates, if you're looking for a cleaner experience, if you're looking for a tool that is better place for you to develop your own shaders, you want to see some updates, and you're going to find that Shadertoy is more of a mature product that isn't really being updated much, which is why the author behind FragCoord went ahead and created this, because he's got updates that he wants to see. And I got to say, the foundation of what he has created here is very, very impressive. So go ahead and check that out. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.